What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. It is officially Wednesday night. We're halfway through the week. We're holding it down. The market's having a decent move today, which again is good news. We'll talk about that in tonight's stream, as well as everything else. Lots of stuff. Obviously, the talk of the town at the minute is Aster and what that thing is doing. It is going freaking wild. I'm sure many of you guys are super bullish. However, there are some coins, particularly in the altcoin market, that I think a lot of people are missing that are nicely on the move, such as Aster, AVAX, bullish news on AVAX, by the way, as well as things like XCN, all having a nice little move. But we'll talk about all of those in tonight's stream. We'll break down some of the key things going on in the market. And I've got some stuff that I need to share with you that I might have talked about 3 streams ago, and that everyone was a bit like, oh, I think you're talking bollocks too bit. Well, guess what? It happened again today, and I'm going to talk about what that is in a little bit. But it is very, very interesting, if you ask me. It certainly is playing out as we expected. Don't forget, obviously, I do a second live stream tonight, so if you want to come and join me and Vern, we'll be breaking down all his views as well as my views, and generally just having a bit of a chit-chat. Way more, like, relaxed, way more chilled out in that stream. As we kind of just break down our opinions on things. But anyway, do me a favor, as always, if you're here on TikTok, tap the screen, lock in a follow. That would be greatly appreciated. Likewise, if you're on YouTube, you're just joining, find that thumbs up, give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, we are a couple of minutes early, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So anyway, 37, welcome to you as always. Craig's here as well. Tim must be loving life, by the way, on that Aster play. Warren Bennett's in the building. What's going on, buddy? 37, Moto. Hi, baby, I'm back. What's going on, Moto? David White's in the house. Says XRP and Velo. Let's go. DJ the DJ. Michael says, hello, all XRP. What's going on? Anurag, XRP. Yeah, XRP Army's out strong. Smart Pete, Michael's in the building as well. Good to see you guys. Welcome as always. Lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff to break down. XRP having a good run today. 6 freaking %, baby. Get back above that $3. One of the top performing coins of the day. So, yeah, lots to get into. Lots to talk about. The question has to be why and how much further are we going? And is this finally the move up? Let's hope so, hey? Let's hope so. Calvin, it's time to pump. Yeah, I think so as well, Calvin. This might be the last time we see a dumperino in the market. Maybe. Let's try and get to the end of the show and see what we get to. Anyway, with that being said, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get into a little bit as to what's going on. So here we go. Look, here is the market. Here is the market, and here is what is going on with BTC. Now, interestingly enough, we called this line yesterday, this support line. Look at this. Perfectly retested this line 1 a.m. my time at 111,100, which if you are in our premium Discord, by the way, simply become a channel member, you get access to that. We pretty much called that the low. Look at this. The low of 111,320. Pretty bullish. And shout out to Jesse as well. He confirmed that on the chart analysis we did. So yeah, pretty interesting. Obviously, we are breaking that down pretty much every single day, giving you the insights into the market that you may just need to go and be a success. But perfectly came down, retested this lower range that we have on here, and then bounced out perfectly with the Asian markets coming in very strong last night. And we then saw that continue into the European markets and then the US markets, albeit did have a little wick down, came back strong buying. Now, what's important, though, is we are seeing significant moves in the altcoin market. Yes, Bitcoin's holding up, and yes, we look like we could retest 114. We actually did break back above the 114 range earlier on. Altcoins, however, look like the big number, and I think this is going to be worthwhile keeping very close to and could play out very favorably over the course of the next couple of days. Now, we've been talking about this over the course of this week. Where do we see the price? Where do we see the price going, particularly when you look at the retracement tool? And you can see here some of these key levels. So the 236 held up at 111,292. The 382, which we rejected at 113,756. That's the range I'm looking to break through right now on this move this evening. We generally know that the markets try to rally a little bit later on. And then look, this is the key one. 115,748 is where I'd want to see us break back above. That for me confirms the move. This would confirm a bullish trend and reversal that would be coming in, particularly when you start to look at this. Obviously, the short term, we need to see a couple of breaks from this low range that we've been talking about. This was obviously the break that came in, and we are now trading above. So we're looking for it to break back above this, would be therefore a confirmation to the upside, and certainly therefore would start to play out way more favorably than we've seen in the market. This could obviously then signal a strong move, and I think this is kind of where we get to. We'll sort of talk a little bit as to maybe why, how, and what are some of the sort of key things to look at. But very, very good news here on the 12-hour. We are, and it is worth noting, by the way, just still a little bit bearish. You can see we're sitting around 45 here on the 12-hour. But as you go down the range, you start to get a pretty interesting picture of where we are. The 4 hour still marginally bearish, but the 1 hour starting to turn bullish. And I think this is important to reference, okay? So there's some key things to break through, some key levels, 113.7, likewise 114.7. So, definitely that. But again, think about how market structures work. Think about how markets kind of play out. The reality is we need to sort of see this move to the upside, break through some of these key levels, and then continue on. And I think that's sort of where we're going to get to right now. And it feels like that is certainly the momentum that is with us on this chart. So the 12-hour definitely is where I'm keeping an eye on it. If you wanted to jump forward and go to the 3-day chart, by the way, you actually start to play out pretty favorably here on the 3-day. And in my opinion is, again, pretty bullish, although might not feel like it. Definitely is starting to play out. That weekly chart obviously still looks pretty strong. So particularly when you come to Bitcoin, this is what we're looking at. Push to the upside. A couple of key levels to think about. 114 is probably a good retest on that Fibonacci at the 0.5. Definitely plays out as a break. But that isn't the story of the day. The total market at 3.86, obviously wiping out some of this giant correction that we got the other day. But we actually see the total too at 1.6 trillion is starting to move from a strong base level here at around 1.58 trillion. Again, we'll start to see this move to the upside. When you take all of the big caps away, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., 1.1 trillion, and the others, which is everything minus the top 10, actually outperforming better than everything else. This is telling us that market sentiment certainly is with us. Altcoins having a good rally. Now, interestingly enough, though, BTC dominance did go up. And you may be thinking, oh, hold on a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Why did Bitcoin dominance go up? Well, the answer is we actually saw some significant purchasing of Bitcoin today, particularly when we start walking through things like ETFs. We start talking through treasury companies. By the way, treasury companies now holding $10 freaking billion, which is a pretty much insane number. But what you got then is a definite move on ETFs. No surprise that we continue to see institutional money continue to flow into the market. And more importantly, still playing up a little bit. So yesterday we got a negative 103 million. That's 2 days now, 500 million thereabouts. What do we get today? Well, like you said, pretty interesting day. BlackRock again are buying. This doesn't make sense to me, okay? I'm not calling this data particularly wrong, but these numbers don't seem to be adding up, and I'm not particularly sure why. We'll sort of break that down, and I will definitely try and get you some answers. But you can see here that we got a little bit of a move back, way back here on the 19th. It doesn't seem to be pulling data through. So I don't know if there's something wrong. But as it stands right now, technically BlackRock haven't actually bought any Bitcoin recently. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Now, that's not to say they don't have it. What I think is happening here, by the way, is I think there is demand for BlackRock Bitcoin, but I don't think they need to buy Bitcoin. If you remember a while back, they actually purchased Bitcoin by themselves. They bought their own Bitcoin off their own ETFs, which is kind of insane, really. But in my opinion, I think that's where we get. They're not doing anything particularly well, and they're certainly not doing anything to push the price of BTC. Maybe it's nervousness, maybe it's market structure. I don't know, right? We'll take a look at that in a bit more detail as and when we get chance, but it still seems a bit odd to me that, yes, we're seeing inflows, albeit not very much, but at the same time, we're not seeing this kind of craziness that I expected. So anyway, that's kind of where we sit with Bitcoin. Now, a couple of stories of the day. XRP on a nice little tear. And what's interesting with XRP, by the way, and I've been talking about this, look at this market structure right now on XRP. If you're watching my content, you're keeping up to speed what's going on. Look how freaking insane this market structure is. And then we get to this key level. This is a very obvious channel, which again could print the upside. The rejection to the downside, which many people thought the market was over and that we were going to absolutely go to the boon. Then this is interesting, and this could play out very favorably over the course of the next couple of days. Now, quick quiz: what could be a catalyst that could break XRP out from this range? Who's going to answer me that question? TikTok, I'm watching you guys as well, by the way. Albeit I can't see the screen, I am actually watching you guys. So what's going on, Crowman? Good to see you, buddy. Anyone want to answer that? What could push XRP out of this range? See, look at that. Tomato Pete knows what's up. ETFs. Now, why could that break out of the range? Well, here is the Rex Osprey ETF, which you'll note today is up 4%. Now, it hasn't got the craziest of volumes, but it's playing out exactly like the BlackRock Bitcoin ETFs did, as well as the Ethereum ETFs, where we see this dump into it, and then we generally see this kind of mega move to the upside, which, if you ask me, the reality is that we are expecting a significant inflow, particularly when it comes to ETFs. So I'm pretty optimistic as to where this is going to go. And I think this could play out definitely a bit more favorable as where we've been, and certainly could see this kind of play a little bit more out. Why is the top trend line not running across the top of the upper candles? Because you can either run it on the top of the wicks, although wicks obviously are increased volatility. That's like saying you should go to the 1 hour chart to do it, or you do it for the candle closes. So we started at candle closes and we finished at candle closes. So yeah, it depends how you want to do it. It makes literally not that big a difference, I don't particularly think. But again, it depends what wicks you want to look at. Obviously, this would be extreme volatility in this wick. And obviously the candle body closes are where we sort of see the close. So that's ultimately why. So you can see here we started at. Again, you can go from the absolute pinnacle of the wick. It doesn't really make any difference personally, but yeah, I think sometimes you can go from the body of the candles to give you a bit more of a, I wouldn't say an accurate or maybe a stable price range, I guess could be where you would look at it. But yeah, equally, if you look down here, it would make no sense. You had one candle that kind of breaks out and nothing else matters. Generally speaking, trends are what go through the majority of the candles, isn't it? So, good. All right. So that's where it sits. Yeah, I can see wicks now in the other chart we're showing. Yeah. Again, obviously, what you should do is redo this for every time frame that you look at it at. So if you look at it daily, once you go to the hourly, you're going to kind of see something a bit different. But anyway, I think XRP looks like it could be set for a breakout, which is kind of good news. And then, look, story of the day, AVAX, Holmes, I'm sure you've been dialed into this, as has Vern. Really good news coming out of AVAX, and people should be definitely watching this. We're still looking at that $36 price range. Again, we did actually wick up to that twice over the course of the last week and then got rejected. But we talked about this $36 range as the next kind of big move. And yeah, interesting. I think this is still in play, by the way. And we'll see where AVAX goes. Loads of good news. Max, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Craig says, I would think working from the top of the wick is a better idea. It gives you a bigger spectrum to work from. It also increases the level of volatility that you're working with as well, though. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, AVAX looking pretty good, by the way, and a definitely breakout. Athea, and again, Home should take some credit for this one. We were talking about this for a while, and yeah, this is actually playing out pretty nicely. I took some profits on the last one, still have a really good bag of this. So this is all playing out pretty nicely as well, with a nice solid move and some really strong volume at the top end here. So yeah, pretty good news when this is playing out, and I think there's definitely some good stuff coming with Athea, which is great. Will there be financial? Bit disappointed with this. Lost the lower support. Again, we talked about that in the Discord, but not stressing it too much. And then you get into this. And obviously, this is the story of the day. Aster. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone's going crazy about it. Everyone except me sold it. Sorry, didn't sell it. I sold it because I'm an absolute chopper. But anyway. Is it going to be the next big thing? Are people positioning this against Binance? I mean, CZ is literally tweeting like he's a KOL. Do you know what I mean? Very interesting. Is it really going to push the whole perp dex thing? Maybe it takes up, but I mean, right now it's looking pretty good. It at some point is going to stop going up. I guess the question therefore is where? Could this do what Hyperliquid's done? Got $40? I don't know. We'll see. $10 plus, I think, 2-bit. Yeah, you said that, Tim. Looking great, by the way. I still think it's probably due a little bit of a dump, and I will give you my thoughts and my reasons as to why I think that, by the way. But I do think at some point this will take a hit. It has to do. Nothing goes up forever. And, there's been some pretty big accumulation over the course of the last 24 hours with numbers of millions of dollars pouring into this coin. So we will see where it goes to. I was talking to Vern about this earlier. Like I am in that really weird phase where I feel like I should be buying this and I feel like I should get in. This is called FOMO. And sometimes you got to just go, whatever, right? Whatever. It is what it is. I may have lost it. I may not have lost it. I don't know. If there's an opportunity that springs, I may get back in. I don't know. I bought like 140 something, sold at like 198 or something like that. So yeah, we'll see. If it has a nice correction, I'll probably grab more. Yeah, I think it's probably due one. I think it may come back and retest like 195 or something like that, which may then give an opportunity to get in. I think it's going to be dependent on these whale wallets and kind of what they do. And then memes holding up, not doing too much again. And then down in the kind of TradFi sector, we saw treasuries move up again, which is pretty interesting. 1% of the 10-year treasury, 4.17. Like, what the fuck is that about? And then a little bit on the stocks. Nothing too crazy to move on. But we'll keep an eye on what's going on with BTC. Looks like it's trying to push again, like we talked about at the start of the stream. That could be a thing. So, yeah. Anyway, good news. Man, you guys have been crushing it on TikTok. Holy crap, nearly 10,000 likes. Super bullish. Super bullish. Sorry, obviously we're just doing chart analysis. I'm back now. What's your favorite high-risk, high-reward coin? Noah, what a great question. Pepe. Is what I would say. right now. That I think it's high risk in terms of it's a meme, but I think it's got a real opportunity, and I'm probably overexposed to it, if I'm honest. But anyway, it's fine. It's good on cheese. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Michael said I would wait to come down soon. Yeah, I agree. I think the sensible standpoint is where we get to. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about where we think of the markets. Advantis. Yeah, I know loads of people are talking about that. It's a straight up battle between Advantis and Aster, isn't it, to a degree? Anyway, Alex Mason here giving us a view. Where do we think we are in the market? Lots of debate here. Obviously, this is kind of playing out. Again, you can look at every chart. You can overlay every price action, and you can still get to whatever result you want to get to. I'm not saying this is financial advice, as it never is on this channel, but I talked about this the other day. Could we be in the belief phase? Time to get fully invested before we head into December under the thrill. I'll buy more in margin. Got to tell everyone to buy before euphoria. I'm a genius and we're going to be rich. And then it all falls to pieces. Does that take us to 2026? Is that what people are saying? Maybe it's true. Jesse, is the Stream Elements thing right now? I'm assuming that's got the right Discord channel. Those coins and BNB are stripping liquidity from other alts. I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not super crazy. I mean, it's good, but it's not super crazy. 10 minutes late, but I made it. Connor Price, good to see you, man. Welcome in. You know, is this where we're going to start to work into potential February and complacency? March, April, May, we're all doomed. It's going to freaking zero. Sell everything. Alex Mason here saying us that the Bitcoin all-time high could be in December. Alex Mason thinks 2025, baby. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Are we going to have SBF on the channel again? He's sure he can phone in. I'll try and get him on. What's going on, Shane? Good to see you, man. Welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, weirdly, he messaged me a few times, actually, and we went back and forth, and I was meant to have a meeting with him, and he just never turned up. So, yeah, I've sort of moved on, really. Like, some people are so crazy in this space. It's wild. Anyway. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of what's coming out. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening. Bullish China. Or Chinese publicly traded Yuji Holdings have now approved up to $1 billion investment in Bitcoin. This is kind of interesting, by the way, because, well, China banned cryptocurrency. They banned it. They banned holding it. They banned doing anything with it. Turns out, unless you are the Juicy, you're allowed to go buy $1 billion. All right, pretty crazy if you ask me. China doing what China do every single bull market cycle. And I bet if you correlated the two, the bull market price to the whenever China bans or unbans cryptocurrency, I bet you see a very interesting correlation. So we will see, is this playing out that we therefore expect, and that we are now going to start to see China ripping Bitcoin to a significantly new all-time high? Maybe this is what happens. Again, pretty interesting. $1 billion though, think about that. They've been dumping money into their housing market, so this could all play out pretty interesting. Now, we talked about this at the start, but look at this. US spot ETF flows have cooled after September inflows, with the latest sessions tipping into mild outflows, while overall accumulation remains intact. The slowdown suggests a pause in institutional demand. Everyone's kind of chilling out. For some reason, they don't want to buy any more Bitcoin. What the hell? Your mic has changed again. What do you mean? What do you mean my mic's changed? Devo says, your mic has changed again. Is it not? It should be though, right? I should be, is it sound weird? Current price way too early to celebrate Russell 2000 rejected at highs again. Yeah, I mean, the Russell's being super crazy right now. Thanks, Vern. Someone let me know if the mic shouldn't be fine. It's the same mic I always have. This is not the mic you guys are listening to. This is the mic you guys are listening to on TikTok. But yeah, anyway, let me know that it sounds all right. That'd be good. So yeah, interesting. We were just talking about net inflows. Thanks, Croman. Does kind of play out as to how he's talked about that institutions are, well, chilling out a little bit. They're like, hey, maybe we don't need to get like super crazy. Maybe we don't need to go all in. Or maybe they're just waiting to see what we all think is coming, which is ETFs. Obviously, we have seen a H-bar ETF, I want to say. So we'll see. Michael says, sounds good to me. All right, cool. So yeah, so all sort of playing out pretty interesting as we sort of go head and shoulders forming Redman. Yeah, it looks like it. All starts to play out. And also, by the way, crypto treasuries now hit $105 billion. These are public companies and funds that are holding a staggering amount of BTC. Again, playing out pretty much perfect. You're probably just talking for, yeah, I know. I need to slow down. China house made of plastic and microwavable. What? So yeah, interesting. So you got ETF demand slowing down, but you've got crypto treasury companies buying more. I mean, the writing's on the wall, isn't it, to a degree, if you start to look at it in that sentiment. Ask any questions, I will pin them. Get it, Vern. If you got any questions, by the way, let Vern know. By the way, just talking to treasury companies, we actually saw another little buy, FG Nexus. I don't know who they are, but they've got a decent amount of Ethereum. Nothing super crazy. They're the 14th highest holder of Ethereum, buying 1.6 thousand Ethereum. Pretty good news. We see more and more people buying this. Again, this aligns perfectly what we're talking about with the crypto treasury companies and the aggregate NAV. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Not celebration, more desperate hope. Yeah, I know that. All that excitement for rate cuts, and then we get a big dump. Yeah, well, that's what happens. Liquidity flush, baby. Over leveraging the market. Exchanges fancying a bit. Do you not think it's strange that we got this massive, like, hype around rate cuts? We got the rate cuts. Markets kind of supported it a little bit. And then all of a sudden, like, Binance starts dumping loads of Bitcoin, loads of Ethereum, buying loads of stablecoin. Then all of a sudden, CZ Binance is like super macro KOL bull on Aster. I think it's pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm not saying CZ's a bad person, but interesting. Look at this. FTX, baby. We're going to be refunding 1.6 billion to creditors September 30th. 60 days to go. 60 days to go. We're talking about 6 days to go. All good. The market is fine for September. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, FTX is going to be starting to dump it back. Now, it feels like we've been talking about this, and so far $8 billion have been paid back to the markets, and we still haven't really seen the market go crazy. So you kind of, I've sort of got to a point where I'm like, all right, cool, it's coming back in the market. Don't really care. All right, it is what it is. So we will sort of see how that plays out. By the way, back up to 4.89% in September. I know a couple of people were calling me out yesterday on the fact that, oh, September's going to be bearish too, but well, it doesn't look like it anymore, does it? So 5%, near enough. The third or fourth, I think it's the third best September ever. All right, well, that's okay. And we've still got 7 days left to go. So pretty interesting. But yeah, FTX hopefully will start to push some of the markets. That'll be good. Right. The next bit I want to show you is something that I've been talking about for a while, and something that I was trying to prove to you guys yesterday as to why I think this is important. Now, if you remember, I was talking about the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury and what they were doing in particular when we come to buying things like bonds, treasury yields, trying to stack that money, get back to that $850 billion so that they can go and invest. Well, guess what happened today? The US Treasury bought back $750 million of its own debt. Okay, this is money that should, or that in history gone by, has been going into the markets, or has been going into treasury yields, or has been going into bonds. They are buying debt back. Pretty interesting. $750 million. The total part offered now is at $5.7 billion that they are trying to get back. Pretty interesting. They bought 4 eligible issuers. So these are things like we said, bonds, treasury yields, etc., etc., etc. The US Treasury's 2025 debt buyback program, $132 billion is what they've bought back so far. Pretty interesting, all right? Pretty interesting. So, you know, if you ask me, then, yeah, pretty kind of crazy. 750 million is peanuts. Yeah, of course it's peanuts. Of course it's peanuts. But the point here is that they are buying it back. And I think that's where it plays into what we were talking about yesterday, in the sentiment that what the US Treasury is trying to do, and then what that plays out looking like for previous 2021 and what we saw in the markets at that point. So the fact they're buying it back tells me a couple of things. And I think this is where it's sort of going to play out very interesting, especially when you start to look at things like gold and you start to look at things like the 10-year and the 30-year Treasury, because are they then going to start dumping it in there? Remember, we need to see those values come back. That's where people will be so much more inclined to go into risk assets. But given everything we talked about yesterday, I thought it was pretty funny that today we see this kind of US Treasury buying back on their debt, which is pretty good indeed. And then finally, just a little bit more on this. SEC has announced its new agenda for the September, I think it's September roundtable. This is the 29th. No one's super crazy on the list, by the way. A couple of people, Polymarket, Kraken's in there as well. No one's super crazy though, which I guess, it is what it is, but this could be interesting. Focus on regulatory harmonization efforts and could unlock economic value for platforms while continuing to protect investors. Sounds like the most boring one. I want to get a meme coin one. Come on, baby. If the market don't play ball, at least the Ryder Cup is back. That's true. That's true. Thanks, Vern. Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, not the biggest deal in the world, but we'll see how this plays out. We haven't really seen much move on the last few one that we've done. Even the DeFi one wasn't super crazy, but anyway, and then this I thought was super interesting. Well, look at this. Dan Moorhead. Now, if you don't know who Dan Moorhead is, by the way, He is basically the head of venture investments at Pantera Capital. Some of you will know Pantera Capital is a liquidity provider and equally a venture capitalist firm, but they pay close attention to where developer momentum is strongest. Solana has attracted more full-time developers than Ethereum over the past 1, 2, and 3 year periods. Skate to where the puck is going. Interesting indeed. And then what you see here is a definite pivot towards Solana, in my opinion. And therefore, I think what will start to happen is you'll start to see things like Sui and all the rest of it start to move. But yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting, right? I thought this was kind of interesting. And yeah, we will see how this plays out. But Solana, don't sleep on it, baby. Don't sleep on it. We've been saying that for a while. So yeah, good news. And then just one for Avalanche crew. Look at this. Avalanche volume on DEX is skyrocketing. Anyone want to hazard a guess? I think we could see like a DEX or a perpetual trading platform coming to AVAX. Obviously, there is, what do you call it? Trader Joe's, but it's a bit naff in it, to be honest. But anyway, daily DEX volume on AVAX is absolutely skyrocketing, which is great news. And then finally, look, this is kind of what I was talking about with Aster, up 38%, absolutely staying strong, but enormous whales buying. So at some point, this has to take a dip. It has to take a dip. But look at that perpetual volume in the last 24 hours. It's outperforming Hyperliquid, which is fucking crazy in fairness, and is absolutely skyrocketing. But there is a ton of big wallets in this. I think one wallet holds 0.3% of the supply over 15 wallets, or one entity, by the way. So, you know, it's got to cut a pullback at some point. If people are super FOMO in, then, you know, this might be an option to wait and see what happens. So, yeah, keep your eye on it. I mean, what's it doing right now? BTC is trying to push a little bit, which is good news. Aster 230. So yeah, it's not messing around, is it? It's still holding up at 17%. As are the rest of the market. And the rest of the market looking decent. Aether at 12.5. AVAX still at 2. Near Protocol back above $3. So yeah, good news. Good news. Okay, right. Let's talk about the news in just a sec. Don't forget, by the way, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. If you are here on YouTube, find that little thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Likewise, if you're on TikTok as well, don't forget to hit the follow button and just tap that screen for me. Really appreciate your support as always. Remember, we're here 6 days a week, breaking the markets down, keeping you guys informed. So definitely get involved in that. Have you looked at Xceller? Yes, I probably am going to get into the pre-sale of that. I have some more content coming out after this live stream, actually. So yeah, I am hedging my bets, though. I'm going 50% pre-sale, 50% post-launch. That way I'm hedging my bets as to what might happen. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I like what they're doing. And privacy coins, probably going to be a good thing given what's happening in the UK. So we'll see on that. I know loads of people are kind of getting bullish. Things like 300k now it's raised on its pre-sale. So yeah, good news. Keep close to that one. If Pepe breaks 0, I'll get a Pepe tattoo. If Pepe breaks 0, nice. I mean, I won't, but yeah, fair play to you. Okay, Bitcoin not done yet, despite the price crash to 112,000. Obviously, we touched on this a little bit earlier. Open futures positions is skyrocketing. People are trading this market like crazy people. Lots of people took a big old long position when we saw that 112. In fairness, I was looking at it and I was a bit like, do I want to do this? And it didn't in the end, but maybe I should have done. I don't know. But yeah, in next post, Ali Martinez urged market participants to buy the dip, followed an earlier analyst in which he noted that Bitcoin retraced to 112 as anticipated, and he added that he was now watching for buying pressure to form right shoulder before the breakout to 113. I think a couple of you guys talked about this as well. So it plays out absolutely perfect. I think what's going to be interesting, is where we go tomorrow. Do we see continued sentiment in the market, or does this end up just being one of those kind of pumps and then tomorrow it all sort of fizzles and we end up with nothing? Worthwhile thinking about. BNB chain slashing fees. Now, this is interesting. BNB chain is preparing to cut its fees and speed up block times with Aster overtaking rival Hyperliquid in both revenue and token momentum. If you didn't want to be bullish enough, it probably is a good thing to think about. The fact that we're going to see this means that, in my opinion, they are definitely going in big on this. Mr. Hope, you're good. Mr. Hope, you're good. Is Epic Chain a good buy? I mean, they seem to be doing some pretty good stuff over there. Not going to lie to you. Seem to be doing some pretty good stuff. So, yeah. Do your research. But, yeah, they've got like NFTs going over there. They've got some other kind of, you know, crazy stuff. So, definitely worthwhile. But, yeah, don't forget, by the way, definitely hit the share button. You know, let everyone know we're live. We're talking crypto. Bring your questions. But yeah, I would definitely look into Epic Chain a bit more. But yeah, I think I like what they're doing over there. BNB Chain Validators propose halving the gas fees and cutting block times. This could be one of the big catalysts for BNB, Will it kind of compete with Solana? Probably not. But Aster overtaking Hyperliquid on-chain revenue, generating 7.2 million in daily revenue. And don't forget, that's not token revenue. That is trading. That's trading perps on their decks. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. And it's what, like a week, 6 days old? So yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. How to find a coin buddy for futures trading? It depends. If you're experienced, then you could do whatever you want. If you're not experienced, find low volatility, trade with low margin and on low leverage until you get up to speed. That'd be my view. But yeah, keep an eye on this. Now, Solana is also doing the same as well. Solana wallet will DeFi development unleash the massive £100 million stock buyback. What's this? DFDV. I think this is a DEX as well. Board of Directors has expanded our share repurchase authorization from $1 million to $100 million. The time and method amount of any repurchase will be determined by management, but basically they're going to be buying a whopping great ton of Solana and equally their token buyback as well. So kind of good that we're seeing it, kind of good that we're starting to see a little bit in terms of, Sol kind of pushing a little bit. And, think about some of the stuff we've talked about, then you get into the world of, man, Solana's going to be pretty crazy this bull run, as long as the market comes with us. But yeah, the total treasury buybacks now is 2.095 million Solana, approximately $500 million as of September 16th. So DYDX is going pretty crazy as well. Heard of Open VPP? Yes. Hasn't it like dumped its arse off though? I actually talked about that before it pumped to oblivion, and then it's obviously dumped pretty aggressively on the back of it. So I haven't looked at it, but I will definitely take a look when we get to the DeFi section. Give you a tip. Don't trade with really high leverage if you're not very good at it. I know that's not what you're asking for, but I don't know what your skill sets are. I don't know. Are you an experienced trader? Are you not? Do you like volatility? What's your margin budget like? Like, that's the question, isn't it? Like, if you're just asking for some tips as to how to actually leverage, if you're asking me for tips, that means you're not ready to leverage trade. That would be where I would get to. So go to TradingView, go to an exchange, go do some practice, go and understand what your decisions will be and why you make those decisions. I think it's important. All right. You can't just go into a live stream and me say, oh, definitely just go and get BNB. It's going to be absolutely fine. And it's going to go to the fucking moon. Like, it's not going to work like that. You will end up getting liquidated. Remember, with leverage, you can lose everything. It's important to understand that. People don't always get into that place. You can lose and I don't just mean like one coin. If you set it up wrong and you don't do isolated margin, you do cross margin, you could lose the entire portfolio you've got. So yeah, I'm an experienced trader, but still this question is unanswered. Like, how do I find out? Well, leverage isn't about the coin. Leverage is about what you think the market's going to do. It doesn't matter about the coin. If you're going to trade meme coins, you're clearly going to get more volatility. If you're not, it's all about market. It doesn't matter. The coin is irrelevant, really, unless you're kind of deep in it. So for example, you could say, well, Ondo feels like a pretty good move. Whether you go long or short on it is what you see in the market. That's the question. Leverage trading is less about what the coin always does. Spot is more about the coin. But Key says spot term. I just use crypto screener, but it's already pumped and dumped, Yeah. I mean, leverage trading is not where you want to be like that. Leverage trading is literally understanding the market, working through some technical analysis, deciding where you think the next move is going to be, and then you trade based on that information. If you're just looking for a meme coin, then, you got to kind of get involved in that. Equally, we obviously have our premium Discord server, which we do trade alerts. We break down technical analysis, and we talk about it every single day. If you want to get that, become a channel member or subscribe here on TikTok. You get free access if you're a channel member or a subscriber on TikTok. And it's about $8 a month. So if you want to do that, jump in there. Worthwhile. Leverage trade, risky game. Without knowledge, you can get rinsed to zero. Yeah, 100%. What do you think of XRPL privacy proposal for transfers? I like it. And I also like the fact that they're putting KYC on chain. What? And don't forget, $2 billion BUIDL and the VANEC, the VANEC digital fund going over there as well. It's happening. Don't leverage on an account, you hold their assets. Exactly. Or if you do, please make sure you're unisolated. Yeah, what's going on, Al? Good to see you. Chainlink thoughts. Yeah, I like Chainlink. They just got some pretty bullish news, but I can't remember what it was. Anyone help me out? I can't think what it was. It was something, but I can't think what it was. Anyway, I'll remember in a minute. I'll remember in a minute. Right, this was an interesting one as well. Treasury Scott Bessent talks about interest rate cuts. Surprise me. US Treasury Scott Bessent criticized Jerome Powell for not giving an indication of the direction of interest rates in his speech yesterday. I mean, he was never going to, was he? He was never going to. Trench, did you catch Aster the other day? Yes. Yeah, we did. XDB. What is XDB? I'll look at it. Remind me, I'll look at it when I get to the DeFi section. Who's requesting to come up on the stream? Crypto Tom is requesting. Crypto Tom, we live stream again in about an hour. If you want to come up and talk to us then, feel free. We do another stream as well. Two of you might want to look at STBL. We'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. So yeah, Fed Chair Jerome Powell spoke last night, the first time since interest rate decision announced last week. Powell did not give clear indication the interest rate decision is coming in the month. The reality is that I think he'll have to cut again because we know the labour market is a little bit fragile, as does, well, the rate probabilities. Look at this, 91.9% are likely to cut 25 basis points again, taking us below 4%. First time we've been 4%, which will be a while back. So yeah. I think he cuts again in October, and I think he cuts again in December. The debate will be how big the cut in December is. Currently pricing in, that will be 75 basis points. I think he gets to 1%. It will all depend on labour market, which we're not really going to see how that plays out for at least another week yet. So, we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. But he's definitely going to cut more. Just my opinion, by the way. Just my opinion. Just give me a 3-minute chat about... Yeah, just come and... No one comes up on this stream because I'm live streaming on YouTube as well. So no one comes up on this stream. This is just my stream. But if you want to come up, again, we'll be live in literally an hour. You can come up and chat what you want to chat about. But yeah, no one's coming live on here as I'm live on YouTube as well. Arbitrum. I think I've talked about Arbitrum before. Personally, it's a DAO coin that's not doing anything. And it's 50% lower than it was when it wasn't doing anything before. So I don't know why people would be bullish on Arbitrum. I think it's good in terms of a layer 2. I think it's good to transact on. I don't know why people would hold it. Versus, say, something like Aptos. Remember, the Aptos CEO is just going to be the CFTC. I mean, what? Is there any news on this government shutdown that Oscar was talking about? I don't know what he means. You're talking about Oscar Ramos. The government shutdown is, it's basically just where they chuck out... The government just takes a holiday. It's just it's still to do with funding for governments. I think basically they don't get paid so they go on strike. Pretty wild anyway. Pretty wild. We talked about ETFs as well. So, right. Zebek down a little bit as the market's pumping. No surprise. Zebek still above that range though. It's a hard one with Zebek. I do like it and I like its narrative, what it stands for. But yeah, it's just a difficult one, isn't it? Difficult one. We're going to top in 4 or 5 weeks, bro. 140, 165. Need to know as I'm due to pay for the G. Well, we talked about it last night. We talked about whether it's possible, and it definitely is. Mathematically, it's possible. We'll see. We will see. Big Crow guy, that's enough for me to say no. Yeah, Oscar's still bullish on Crow, isn't he? Bullish on HBAR. HBAR took a dip today. If you were looking for an entry, we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about a potential entry on HBAR. But yeah, it wicked down to 210191, so... Yeah. Pretty interesting. HBAR is great, just doesn't get the attention it should. Yeah, the ISO 222, when all that kind of comes live, that might play out slightly differently for HBAR, Algorand, but yeah, pretty interesting as that played out, so yeah. Yeah, the government thing's a bit weird. If I'm honest, the government thing's a bit weird. They'll pass it. There's no way they shut the government down. It'd be crazy. Ondo, yeah, bullish on Ondo. Where's it at? 93. Still a steal, I think, on Ondo. I did think about buying some more of this, but I haven't. But it is still slightly bearish, so this could come down a little bit further. You could see maybe if we got a push down in the market again, maybe 85, maybe high 88, potentially. But again, think about it. Tokenized treasuries. We're seeing this more and more with the buybacks, everything else. Again, $25 trillion market cap. $25 trillion market may head to Ondo, which would be pretty crazy. So... I think finally we are starting to see some of these altcoins move. Things like AVAX, things like Ondo, things like Athia that we've been talking about for a while. XCN, we covered that on the channel. It's finally starting to move. Quant's even having a pretty good run as well. So, yeah. I'll buy more Ondo on the dip. Yeah, I like Ondo. I just want to see, Ondo do some kind of crazy numbers. Equally, I want to see some of these coins just do 20% and, it'll come, I think. Not financial advice, never is, but I definitely think it will come at some point. So, good. Okay, right, we've covered that off, and we've covered that off, which is good news. If you guys want to talk about any coins, if you got any questions, obviously we'll answer any questions or any that I can. So, yeah, let me know. Whatever happened to Jasmine? Jasmine's still there. Yeah, Jasmine's holding up. It's still down, and it's not performing super great, and it's a little bit bearish, but, yeah, it's still there. It's up about 0.5% on the day. I mean, I got a message off Crypto J today. Casper is apparently hold on, he sent me this message earlier. Casper is rolling out their layer 2 stuff. So the ZK EVM smart contract for Casper live on mainnet. The Zelius swap launch for the first DEX on Casper. So I mean, that could do something. A week later, Moonband goes live. All built on L2 fees are taken into Casper. Cycle of miners, nothing is parasitic to the L1. We're waiting for ZK for L1 directly with VProgs built in to take the heavy work away from the miners, but still utilizing them for sequential security. Don't know what it means, but it sounds cool. Sounds cool. What's your thoughts on... I don't really have any. Don't really have any. So yeah, I would definitely take a look. Yeah, Max does some really good content on Jasmine. I think they still got some good stuff over there for sure. Still holding it as well. Still holding it down on Jasmine. XCN and Swiftcoin. Yeah, I mean, have we looked at Swift recently? XCN definitely doing some pretty good numbers today, in fairness. XCN was, up about 5%. So holding up, still down macro-wise, but again, this is definitely, I think, going to move with the kind of whole ISO thing. So keep your eyes peeled on that one for sure. Any news on XCL? They've raised over 300k so far. Yeah, it's still just in a pre-sale. So it'll launch, 5 days time, I think it is. So yeah, look out for the launch. I mean, we'll probably cover it on the live stream, but yeah, it's coming. Again, my strategy with that, by the way, not financial advice, 50% into the pre-sale, 50% post the pre-sale and see what happens. It depends. Yeah, Vern is an AVAX cheerleader. The reason I bought AVAX because of Vern. So yeah. Any updates on Rect? I mean, outside of the plan to launch, which is about 3 weeks time, then no, everything's where it should be. Everything's good to go. Everything's, I believe, set and ready to rock and roll. So yeah, make sure you're in the Telegram. Make sure you're following the X account. Make sure you check the website out. And yeah, get ready. I think it's probably where I would get to with that. Timmy, did you see the mountain I had to climb to bring you that footage? I did not see a mountain you had to climb to get that footage. Where is that? Where have you shared the footage? Let me have a look. Is it in the Twitter group? Boom, 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 boom. Where have you put it, Al? Have I missed something here? Have I missed something, Al? I feel like I must have done. Where have you shared that? Or is it? Oh, it's on your YouTube channel. Oh, right. In that case, no, I haven't seen it. But in fairness, to my defense, I've been like super busy with work and everything else. But yeah. Oh, don't do that. Is it this one? I mean, it looks like a pretty big... I mean, that's pretty high, I'm not gonna lie. Did you climb on top of the hill, Al? Are you like up here somewhere? No way you were in there, bro. Shut the front door. No way you were in there. Where is Al? Where is he? Let's see if we can find him. No way you were in there, bro. Get out of here. Is there any potential in Elon Mars? I don't think so. I mean, there's always potential. That's unfair, isn't it? But I mean, fair play, Al. Holy crap, that's pretty high. There's always potential. Do I think it's going to do numbers like what people maybe hope? Difficult. Difficult, I think. Yeah, I bet it was high. It looks freaking super high. Looks super high. So, yeah, fair play to you, mate. I took a helicopter. Yeah. Can you look at Algo? Yeah, we looked at Algo a while back. We called Algo before it did the big move, in fairness. I like Algorand. It was another one that I was kind of thinking about getting a position in. I didn't, but where is it? Oh, there it is, Algorand. So where are we at? 21.55. Again, do you know what's kind of good with this? And it is kind of interesting when you look at this in terms of a range perspective. I don't know if you want to look at this TikTok, by the way. When you look at this as a range on Algo, it's kind of playing out pretty interestingly. And look, I think the ISO 222 stuff is going to be sort of super important. But yeah, you sort of look at that as a range for Algorand. That's not like the craziest, 29 to 17. But yeah, I like it. I don't own any, in fairness. I've been saying I was going to get some, but again, it's a little bit like Chainlink. I like Chainlink, but I haven't got it, basically. I don't believe in having loads of coins and loads of projects. I don't think that's a good idea. Again, people may call me crazy. Some people call me a space cowboy, but I'm cool with it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, XRP and HBAR, yeah. Yeah, look, I think they're good. Again, HBAO was another one that I was looking to maybe take a position up, but I didn't, in fairness. Maybe I should have done. Maybe I should have done. So, yeah, man, this is super annoying. Have you seen this? It like comes up and it's like, oh, connect your wallet. I don't want to connect my freaking wallet. Get out of here. Get out of here. Right. Anyway, sorry about that. got a bit crazy there. Got a bit crazy with the old statements. So, yeah, DeFi. I don't know. What did you say it was? STBL. Jesse. Oh, here we go. Look. Oh, what's this one? STBL token. Up 40%. $282 million market cap. Holy shit. What the hell is this? Looks like it's doing some pretty... $122 million in volume. What the flipping heck? Wow. I'm on all the BTC, ETH, and Sol. All the rest. Well, look, I mean, in fairness, BTC, ETH, and Sol, I think Sol definitely. The question is if you got your Solana staked and that 7.25%, baby. Yeah, look, fair play. I own a couple of other coins. I don't own more. I think my portfolio is like 9 coins, if I'm honest. I definitely don't believe in people like going like super crazy and having like 100 coins or something ridiculous. But yeah, that's my opinion. Andy Box, what's going on? So we at the moon yet? Not yet, bro. We're trying though. We are freaking trying. Casey, what's going on? I'm late. What did I miss? Not a lot. You know, usual stuff. Talking about cryptocurrency, looking at the markets, technical analysis. You name it, we talked about it. So yeah. LK, I got your message earlier on. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You are on the list. Oh, nice, Jesse. Love it. See, that's what the premium Discord's all about. Absolute legends making it happen. Making it happen. That's the great advantage of the alpha calls. I mean, this is pretty crazy, though. In fact, it's 122 million in volume. Like, what? I have too many coins, but hopefully good ones. Andy, you do you, bro. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, if you spread yourself, you might just get the next big mover and groover. What was the TikTok coin we were talking about yesterday? Oh, it's this one, isn't it? Get rich or die trying. Oh, what a surprise. It's Dumperino. Yeah, I mean, is this going to come back? Don't know. Vern and I will be discussing this one a little bit more on the TikTok live at 5:30 in about 40 minutes. So make sure you tune in for that. Good. So yeah, so launch the Discord. Basically become a channel member here, which is about $8, and you get access to our premium Discord, where we have technical analysis setup, trade calls, VC investments, discounts for some trading indicators I'm working on at the minute as well. So we're going to start building it out. But yeah, become a channel member on here and you get access to it, basically. So yeah, or become a subscriber here on TikTok as well and you get it. So yeah, all good. What chain 2-bit? This one, Solana, obviously. Like, I mean, it's just, this is the typical, do you know what Solana normally does? It goes like this. Oh, and then it's like, that's what Solana does. Get out of here, Solana. What about 0 token? Is that actually a thing? Is that actually a thing? I mean, it doesn't look like it's doing anything at all. Is that really a thing? Surely that's not a thing. I mean, it's literally doing absolutely nothing, but doing absolutely nothing at all. So I don't know if that is it is a coin, but yeah. I've been talking about Mona for a while. Don't know if anyone got into that one. It's starting to push back. I mean, it's down overall, but it's starting to push back up. It's done about 40% in 2 days. Pump Fund, we touched on this. Revenue still generating. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Pump Fund still generating. Might be an opportunity here. 5.7 looks like it's taken a bit of a wick down. You know, is it going to play out a nice cup and handle and then kaboom? We'll see. Oh, YouTube membership gives you Discord too. I hear that's correct. Yes, exactly that. If you become a YouTube channel member, and then you get access to our premium Discord as well. Which again, for just for clarity, is very early, but so far so good in there. I mean, we've had what? 2 or 3 coins that have done very, very well. And then we've done some trade setups that have worked very, very well as well. So, you know, if you're interested, you want to, you know, support us, then jump in. So there's free Discord. And then in the Discord, if you become a channel member, you get access to kind of the premium one, which gives you just a few other bits, which I'm sure we'll build out. And I'm sure we'll start to talk about, and as people start to grow into that, it'll become epic. So, you know, it might be worth getting in earlier rather than later. As with everything, when it starts to scale out and people want to get access and they're like, oh my God, what do you mean you're not in the 2-bit premium Discord? Would have slammed the price up to $300. I'm kidding. It's 400. Right. OG token. It said OG token. Right. Okay. The OG fan. I mean, look, if it doesn't come up with any sort of movement, I'm not interested because it just means it's not got any volume whatsoever. 25K, let's get it. TikTok fam, making it happen right now. Don't forget, we will be live once again. 2nd live stream. I may even just stay live on this. I don't know. Maybe Maybe we just kind of hang around and see what the hell happens. Could be worth it. But yeah, good. Good. Right. We'll keep an eye on BTC right now. Nothing too wild going on. Yes, OO token is a thing. Yeah, I was looking at it, but I just couldn't. Is it OO as in the number or is it OO as in the letter? Either one. Just I can't see anything with anything like moving. Like, I mean, this has got 800k in liquidity, but it's got, I mean, well, it hasn't got any liquidity actually at all. It literally, they took 67 ETH out of this thing. So yeah, God knows. Don't know. Unless I can find the right one, it looks awful. BOMO retraced on the weekly, but nothing goes up forever. Oh yeah, you guys always talk about BOMO. I haven't looked at BOMO. BOMO, this one, isn't it? 3.34 milli, yeah? Oh, yeah, it's come down. Here's the thing with meme coins, though. The reality is it's like, after we've done the big rally, does it then, is it going to go back up? Fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully, yeah. How about XVM? XVM, yeah. Seller AI. Again, it's it's doing okay, is my opinion, and we'll see how it kind of plays out. But yeah, pretty challenging where it is and where it's going to go to. I don't know what they've got. I feel like I'd heard that they had an exchange listing or something coming up, but yeah, we will see. It doesn't look that favorable, unfortunately. I mean, it's still doing good volume, but yeah, I mean, unless it's got something super crazy coming out, maybe it gets another bounce. Avoid jumping on the biggest bandwagon. Yeah, I mean, Aster right now is obviously the biggest one, isn't it? Or Aster. We'll see. BTC Cash, really? Bitcoin Cash, bullish. I'm bullish on Bitcoin Cash, bro. Send it. ZKC, is that good? ZKC. Man, I don't even know what some of these are. ZK coin. No. I don't even know what half of these are. I don't even know what they are. Crypto Sage and Ronnie Rich is still in that one. Really? Everyone is moving to other big stuff like Chase and Aster. Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is, like we said, Aster will pump for a while. We'll see how it then plays out over the course of the next maybe week or something. That might play out a bit more favorably. So, yeah, I mean, is it going to go up forever? Of course it's not. But hopefully all those that get in, particularly anyone that's in this channel, gets some wins. That's what we want to see. So, yeah. Good. Right. LK just became a channel member. Thank you so much. If you go into our Discord now, you'll notice you have access to the VIP members section. Let's get it, baby. So you can see the chart requests. You can get access now to the bot in there that you can request charts, technical analysis, and everything else. There is a how-to guide in there as well, which basically will tell you how you can use the bot to support your trading. Alpha calls in there as well. Again, you can see where they are, so check that out, as well as trade signals and any VC opportunities that are coming up as well. So enjoy and welcome, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. I bought Aster at 0.75. Nice one time. Still holding it? That's the question. Market will go sideways for a week or two. I mean, it's a nice move today. The debate is tomorrow, right? The debate is tomorrow. We could see, because the reality is that one swallow does not make a summer, unfortunately. And we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. We've had 5 days of red candles coming off that kind of 118 top. And again, we've seen this before where we get 1 day of green and then off down we go. So we'll see what happens as we get nearer and nearer to October, which therefore might play out more favorably. If we were to get a good day tomorrow, then we could start to maybe see a little bit more upside momentum come in. That's what I'd be looking for. All right. So I'd be definitely looking to really, if we could get back to say 115, wipe out the losses over the last 2 or 3 days, then, that could be good news in my opinion. So keep your eyes peeled and yeah, hopefully we get there. I'm praying alts stay at this price. Really? Come on. We need alts to pump to oblivion. I'm about alts pumping, baby. Let's hope we get there. But yeah, we'll see. We'll certainly, play that out. I think, alts have had a pretty good day today. Bitcoin holding up at like 113,637. So yeah, driven hugely by some of the kind of bigger ones. But you can see if you take Bitcoin out of the agenda, ETH didn't really move today, which is interesting. So ETH might be a runner tomorrow. I mean, look at that on the daily. ETH, very, very boring. And I think there's a couple of, I'm hearing a few bits going around that a lot of people are questioning, Tom Lee's conviction on Ethereum and how it can be debunked. And there's a few other bits and pieces. Equally, people are still freaking out about the whole unlocking for ETH and the fact that validators are going to start dumping Ethereum. Maybe true. I don't know. nothing's really happening tomorrow. More about market structure. Similar to today, really. Nothing really happened today, but the markets just seem to get a bit more bullish. So, you know, we'll see. But I think ETH needs to probably move tomorrow. If we get a decent ETH move, then I think we could be okay. Again, if you think about how the market played out over the course of, you know, over the course of the last 24 hours, for example, it was an interesting market. We didn't really see a lot in the early hours. This is obviously yesterday. What we saw was the Asian markets actually dumped until about 4 a.m. And then we got that little push back to the upside on Tuesday, dumping again, as we saw last night. And then, you know, the rally sort of started early hours of the morning. So Asian markets did dump this before coming in at 5, 6 a.m. and start buying. So what markets would be opening at that sort of time? Anyone know? Anyone know what markets would be opening at that point? Curtis, should I swap it all for ape? I feel like I've seen some stuff going on with it. Could BNB pass Ethereum ever? I mean, it could. Is it likely? No. Just my opinion. What markets? Hold on a minute. What financial markets? Man, stop. Why can't I type sometimes? Ape was lucky one for me when I got listed. Yeah, I mean, the ApeCoin went crazy. I mean, they had some unbelievable staking rewards for a while as well. It was great. Too big to believe XRP could top $100 in 2030. Oh, yeah, 2030. Yeah, definitely. Like 5 years' time. Again, a lot of it will depend. Asian. I thought Asia's about 1:30. 2 o'clock. Is it like China or something, maybe? 30K. Let's go, baby. Maybe it's like China that opens at that time. But yeah, anyway, that's what we saw. So Asia definitely kind of bought the dip. Equally, we saw this push down. So it must be like Hong Kong and the Shenzhen maybe opens at about 1:30. Dumps to 111. Then we've seen a nice uptrend, which again, if you think about it, could then continue. We could see this. The important bit here, we're on the 1 hour chart. There is zero volatility within this range. So up to about 115.3. There isn't really a lot here on the hourly chart. It's just not a big deal. So again, there's no reason we can't sort of push to this next level here around 115. We'll have to see kind of what happens. So, okay. So it's India. So the Dakar or the, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Dhaka, the Dhaka Stock Exchange in Bangladesh, Columbia Stock Exchange in Sri Lanka, India. Yeah, 4:45. India opens. Interesting. Mainland China. Yeah, so it's China. It's basically BRICS, isn't it? China, India, Colombia, Bangladesh. They all open at about that time. Okay, cool. So we need to know that. So 1 o'clock. So about 1:30 is the NASDAQ. No, not the NASDAQ. Sorry, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange and the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. 4 o'clock is India. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, look at that then. So yesterday we saw exactly the same. So this is India, Bangladesh, mainland China, and then you've got kind of Hong Kong and what, Japan, maybe? Worthwhile thinking about. India, Brazil, and Mexico bullish areas to invest in next year or two. Yeah, I think so as well, Tim. Yeah, I know someone that was invested in like car parks in Dubai before Dubai went crazy. So yeah, maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe that's the way to do it. According to Jake, XRP could be 10K to 50K by 2030. I mean, Jesus. I mean, that would be pretty. 50K for one XRP. Psh. I mean, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick to it. I don't think so. Jesus Christ. Imagine that. I mean, think about it. If you had 10,000 XRP and it got to 50,000 a coin, you'd be in $500 million. Like, nah, bro. I mean, maybe. Johnny, what's the 5 coins you said you was buying now? Well, a lot. Sorry, I've been busy. Well, I'll tell you what 5 coins I've been buying. So I bought Aster, albeit I've sold it now, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, Aster, I bought AVAX I've been talking about. So AVAX, shit, what were they? Man, I can't even think what they were. AVAX, Bonk. Man, I can't even think what they were. AVAX, Bonk. Nope, can't remember. I can't remember. My mind's gone completely blank. Ondo. Yeah, I bought some more Ondo. That's true, actually. World of Bit Financial. Jesus Christ, yeah. Which I think right now is on a good dip, by the way. FYI. Not financial advice, by the way. Not at all. And did I buy anything else? I don't think so. Bonk. See, I'm really tempted to buy more Pepe, but I need to stop it. Like, I'm literally buying this like a crazy person. And I need to chill out. I'm buying too much. Interesting. Look at this. This is the kind of thing you get, by the way, in the premium Discord. Just FYI, the technical analysis for Pepe. Where do we think the next move could be? And more importantly, how is it going to play out? If you're more interested in this, become like Elke. Grab a channel membership. Definitely worth it. Subscribe here on TikTok or grab a channel membership on YouTube. Pepe, yeah. I didn't buy any more Pepe, but I've been buying probably way too much Pepe. But yeah, if you're interested to understand how this all works, then get in there. Jake Lever said 1 million per XRP in 15 years. I mean, that's crazy. That is literally crazy. I think Pepe will 8x. I'd like to see Pepe. I mean, Pepe should break another zero. I mean, it depends what you think to it. Could it get to $15 billion market cap? Maybe. Maybe. $15 billion market cap, you know, puts it at, you know, what? A 2-3x from where it is right now. I mean, break 2 zeros, baby. Could be good news. But yeah, I mean, look. It could all unwind though, and this is the thing. This is what's stopping me buying more Pepe, is because actually it could all go to shit and we end up just absolutely getting wrecked on Pepe. But that's why it's always worth diversifying your portfolio into some key coins and equally some not. I mean, Aster is just not slowing down. This thing is crazy. But don't get the FOMO. It wants you to buy it. It's screaming your name. Don't do it. Wait for the dip. You may get an opportunity that you might not think you're going to get. But yeah, I think Pepe will do well. I just don't know how well. Pepe is love. Pepe is life. Calamari is super bullish on Pepe. Those guys crap me up, Tim. Usually listen to the recorded late night. Who's that? Curtis Nerdy says 1 million plus. Yeah, I mean, some guys are pretty great. Like, some are crazy when they talk about X. I wonder why it is. Why do people think XRP could like do like some crazy numbers like that? I mean, it's almost just not possible. I'm not bullish enough. I mean, that's true, cheese. Maybe I need to be way more bullish. Way more bullish. Oh, is it a podcast? We need to do a podcast. I haven't got any time. I'd like to see Pepe at 40 to 50 billion mark. Yeah, so would I. So would I. That'd be good. I'd be down for that. XRP at 10 million per. I mean, yeah, it'd be fucking crazy if it was. Yeah, I definitely want to see. I do want to see Pepe break out. That would be good, actually. I think that'd be good news. But yeah, it requires on the meme coin market doing something. And at the minute, the memes they're a little bit behind. Let's just call a spade a spade. They are a little bit behind. Nothing's really going off. I mean, interestingly enough, Jake Gagan's talking about Brett on Killer Whales. I don't know if you guys watch it. Is it doing anything? No. So I think, you know, the big meme coins are going to be things like Pump, etc. They're going to do something. So anyway, let's hope for some nice market moves. Let's fingers crossed we get a little bit more upside momentum. That would be good news. And hopefully then, you know, tomorrow becomes another good day in the market. We start to print out from this kind of pattern that we've been playing out in. And equally, like we said on the Fibonacci, we start to break some of these key levels that we've been discussing as well. You can see this right now at the 778, the 382 on the daily candles here. This is kind of what we're looking for. If we can break above that, so close over 114 would be pretty bullish. That would look good for the week ahead. Certainly would look good for the next 24 hours. So if you're looking for some sort of key numbers, that is probably where I'll be putting my eggs in the baskitos. Equally, if you've got the 12-hour, which again we discussed at the start of this stream, as to where this could sort of play out, then this is slightly different just in terms of its time frame, by the way. You start to get in this, we're still at the 113, 756, 382 Fibonacci. So slightly different in terms of where we are for the daily versus the 12-hour. But, you know, look, that's what I'm looking for. And hopefully we get there to the break side. Feyenoord says, hello, do you think we'll hit 95K again on BTC? I mean, do I think we'll hit that? No. That's not to say that we won't. That's not to say that some people think we're going to go down. I still don't necessarily believe the whole CME bullshit at 93K. I just don't see why we would get to that point. And then I also get to a place where I think, given the fact we saw the biggest liquidation event in the year at 1.6 billion, and actually we went from what, 115 to 112, you kind of go, that just says everyone was way over leveraged when they shouldn't have been. Bear in mind, we've seen bigger corrections, which I think was like here, wasn't it? Which was like $1 billion. And we went from 118 all the way down to like 113. We dropped like 5K in 24 hours. So yeah, I mean, no, it'd just be why. That's my view. It's like, why would we get that dip? Why all of a sudden would the market just come, the arse fall out of it to 93K? My guess would be if we dropped to 93K, that's probably the end of the bull market. That'd be my guess. You know, that's my view. I would rather own Aster instead of XRP. Interesting. Look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. There's no opinion that's right or wrong on this channel. That's why we all have our own individual portfolios and we all individually invest how we want to invest. For example, that's why I bought Aster at 144, got a DCA down to 138, and then sold it at 196 because I'm a complete and utter moron. So Hey ho, it is what it is. And every time I look at it, it's like another dagger to the heart. Oh, it's up 18% to a bit. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Well, good news. Do you know why? Do you know when you'll be able to tell whether I FOMO bought back into Aster? It's because it's going to dump, right? It'll dump. So if you see Aster dumps back down to this level, you know full well that I bought some. Which is why I'm not doing it. All right. I'm not going to give everyone the satisfaction. But yeah, are you still on XRP too? But I did you sell? No, I'm still on XRP. Still have it. It's like one of my top 3 holdings. Again, though, like I've always said on the channel, I own about $600 of XRP, but I'm freaking bullish on it. Yeah, Aster's in new discovery territory, isn't it? Would it be very dodgy to buy it now? I would wait for a 75 to 80% retracement. I mean, the difference you've got, Craig, is that it is a core utility coin that has revenue. This is the thing. It's got double the revenue that Hyperliquid has got. So the reality is it kind of isn't really a meme coin market, etc. But yeah. And it's got obviously potentially Binance backing it as well. Although they're not publicly coming out and saying it. The reality is if you've got CZ behind it, you've sort of got Binance behind it. But again, this is where you get to though. You kind of go, well, do you know what? Fine. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Would I have made life-changing money in it? Probably not. All right. It is what it is. And I'm not going to stress it. It's at 231 right now. It seems every week I buy more coins and put more in my current players and the market dumps. One time, I know the feeling, bro. Just understand though, when the market does move, hopefully then it'll all pay off. That's my opinion. Anyway. Right, that is it for the stream tonight. It is a quick one. Alvin's just joined us. We're literally, shutting up shop. But we'll be live, don't forget, in TikTok in 30 minutes. If you want to come and join CryptoVern and I, just kind of chatting about a few things. Again, just keeping it real and literally just kind of chatting about what's going on. So if you're part and want to be in that, then come and join the live stream in 30 minutes on TikTok, talking about whatever you want to talk about. Bring some questions, bring some good news, whatever, right? Whatever. Alvin, come and join us in TikTok. It's going to be super, super bullish, and we'll just kind of chat a few things through. So until then, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow live on YouTube, and also we'll be live on TikTok as well. So until then, enjoy the outro. See you in a bit.